Baby boy, 30 weeks.
3-0.
So full term is 40. So we're getting there. You can go as early as 38 or even
Yeah.
36
You're
safely.
75% of the way there.
Don't fact check those numbers, but
I think full term is like 36, 38, but I don't really know.
you're in there. You're kicking the shit out of mom.
Kicking hard.
You had your laptop on your belly this week and he was kicking it, right?
He's like kicking it off.
Knocking your laptop.
That's funny.
How are you feeling? Physically, pregnancy-wise?
We just went for a walk and my back is killing me because it feels like the weight of my stomach is like pulling my back like this. So I feel a little tight right now because we just went for a walk. Yeah, I'm feeling
The third trimester?
feeling it. Feeling a little anxious about my second attempt at a 3-hour glucose test that I'll theoretically do this week.
Yeah, today is May 31st. And your birthday was this week. It was Tuesday. Like,
it seems like the craziest week.
It feels like, yeah, this week went in months. Like every day was like a month because your birthday was Tuesday the 26th, and then you had your doctor's test, and it was just like another blood draw, and then you were wearing a mask, so you got faint and threw up at the doctor's office, have to reschedule the test. It's like, It's been a whole thing. So this whole week is crazy.
From a pregnancy standpoint has been challenging.
For sure. I think that I'll put your customary photo in. I was doing full screen. We still. Yeah, I think that we did a podcast yesterday with Jay and Christine. We're still leaning towards Avit as your name. But I think Format Buster this week, we talked and we're going to skip our grateful and our challenging because the world is just like it's a really challenging week. It's part of a really challenging year. And, I am grateful for you, future baby boy. Like,
who's talking to me?
And you. And like at the chance we have to try to do better. So,
yeah.
We've been talking a lot about this, that, unfortunately, I want the world to be different for you, boy, but you're born into this one, and hopefully you can be part of this change that we want to see. But over the last week, there was the killing of an unarmed Black man by a police officer. Unfortunately, by far not the first of that kind. And that difficulty and challenge in the world and the way it's making folks feel and has led to riots and protests, and it's just been a really challenging time, and it's a really divisive time. We don't have steady leadership to get us through, and it's just like, I think we're feeling all of the things, and we want you to have so much better and be so much better. It started a few weeks ago, and Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed Black man killed by two civilian white people, a third person, and
he's out for a jog.
George Floyd, I'm sorry. And there are many of those, we talked about earlier, like in the 90s when we were both little, Rodney King and Tamir Rice, and there's just Sandra Bland. There are so many names on this list, and it's just so difficult. And we hope that you don't see the world in the way that some people do see it. And, we've been challenging and thinking about the ways that we were brought up, and the diversity that was and wasn't there, and the way that the world treats us, and by looking the way we look, and the way it treats other people looking the way they look. And, this one in particular of all of them is talking to you and who we hope you are in the future, and who we know you will be, embracing other people and having more chances to be inclusive and around them, and not buy into this bullshit that people peddle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we were kids, like we were just talking at dinner about Rodney King, like, I don't even know what year that was. I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s, but like, it wasn't like talked about. And I think because our society now is much more on social media, and so we just have more resources and people are recording these things, so we're actually like seeing it happen rather than just hearing about it. I think Rodney King was so big because there was a video of it, but no one really talked to us about it. And then when we were in school, we learned about race and the history of this country, but only from like one view of it. And I think a lot about, as being a dietitian in the work that I do, and how important it's going to be for me that you and any future siblings like understand that like your body is, nothing's wrong with your body, and that you're going to learn nutrition in a way that's probably going to be super problematic at school. And I think about that a lot, and I think about how I'm going to like handle that from our home. And I was just telling Steve, like, we are wanting to make this home also a place where we're actively teaching our kids about these race issues and being racist, not just not being racist. And so, yeah, I mean, it's like Steve said, like the first of so many. I mean, not the first. It's not the first killing.
The latest.
It's just the one that's most recent, and it's something that I don't want us to stop talking about once this blows over, like the rest of them do.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, that's the way that news travels and news cycles, and it's just, I hope that you can watch this at whatever age you do, a decade from now or 2 decades from now, and almost not even believe it, right? Like, I can't believe police ever treated people like that. I can't believe things like that used to happen when we were in the year 2020. And like Uncle Matt talks about, the year 2020 is going to have a whole college course on it. This has been a real one. Like, I was always, years were always crazy, but this one is crazy. But I know that we will have harped this into you to be inclusive and to understand your place. And we're learning every day with what does that mean, and some of our friends and people in our world think that we're like the super liberal, all the way on the one side of the spectrum. And to some in our world, we're barely scraping the surface. And I think it's a progression and a journey that, you are what I'm grateful for, and that you will be better than we are, and you will know more than we know. And together we'll figure those things out and give you more opportunity to figure them out sooner than we figured them out.
Yeah.
It's a scary world, kid. I don't have too much more other than, so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say without, Yeah, I hope that we develop a home and an environment, and also like out of this home environment for you to experience the world in different ways and from different people, not just people that look like us.
Yeah, I think we talk and joke a lot about like how this has come through, and I think as we establish our family values and what's important to us, and I know that our home will be one of empathy and understanding other people's experience. You know what I mean? It's just because things are hard for you doesn't equate to other people's experience, and just because things are really hard for others doesn't mean that your experiences aren't hard. You have to understand the difference there. So I don't know, there's a lot to say, and we're going to talk a lot about this, but
we didn't really know what we were going to say here, but it almost feels like this episode of all episodes is actually like the time capsule, and not just us like shooting the shit with our friends, but to really like, I hope we all watch this together in 10-20 years, and it's not.
Yeah. And we just listened to a thing, like the coronavirus, this whole thing we started under the pandemic, and it has disproportionately affected Black communities and folks of color. And it's the systems in place. I hope that your generation can vote for and is the leaders that can change the policies and this like stupid fucked system that we have that is ingrained for decades and hundreds of years, and fortunately, we have the privilege of not being on the wrong side of that, and we need to not just enjoy that privilege and find ways to like use it to burn that whole system down, like it's.
Yeah. So I hope we do that, because I think one of the things about our relationship that's always been, we come from different religions, born in different countries, grew up in different towns. But our core has always been that we think of other people, and we want to do more for other people, and recognize that like our life is too good sometimes, all the time, and that we can be always doing more and to helping others in our own ways. And I hope that's like the value that is always just instilled in our kids. I hope we can. I imagine the way we'll do that is by just doing it and seeing and learning and understanding and having conversations. And
this one also is almost just as much for us as it is for you to like capture the gravity of this moment, capture how we're feeling, and acknowledge the pressures of like, I see stuff like that on TV and it doesn't get a huge reaction from me. Like I feel like I should cry my eyes out. You know what I mean? Like, but I say that to the point that it has become so normalized. We have seen that so much in our lives, and it can't be that. It has to be this much outrage every time that happens because it's so fucking unnecessary. Like especially for you, kid, like with social media and the internet, what it will be, the world is going to get bigger and bigger and also smaller and smaller. So you hear about tragedies and it's very easy to just kind of like ignore it and go on.
Yeah.
Especially because, we're going to try to have a happy home and you won't have to worry about things that other people have to worry about. But, those are things that I'm sure as you watch this, you'll go, yeah, the family values. I read the book. There will be a playbook for your kid, literally. Like, just be good to the people around you and always do what is right. And you know what's right and follow your own, navigation on that. Because you can, I was saying that to you earlier, like trust yourself and the things. If you think it's right, you do it. And if you need to say something, if you need to step up and, don't take the easy way. So. We love you, kid.
Love you. See you soon. Not too soon.
We can't wait for you. That's the bright side. This whole year can eat shit, but baby,
try to be like on time.
Baby,
don't
be
like
here.
Mom and Dad. Be on time. Don't be late.
Don't be too early.
We're not early.
We're not a super punctual family, so you take your time.
We've been working on being on time in this family. Just be on time. Don't make me wait too long, please.
We'll let you know how you did. We love you. And
we're
thankful for you. I'm thankful for you. This one's for you. I'll look at you.
For which one?
You know.
Now I'm gonna cry.
All right, we had to get some tears in. Good.